ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. We are celebrating tonight the last night of Chanukah, the last day. What do we commemorate with Chanukah? Great event in Jewish history. Our people had been under the rule of the Syrians who had become Hellenized at that time. And also many of our people became Hellenized as well. The temple had been desecrated. The menorah that used to be lit every day was dark. So a small group of very dedicated people, mainly from the Kohanim group, fought against the Syrians, and they were victorious. What did they do? The first thing was they went into the Beit HaMikdash, looked for oil in order to kindle the menorah once again. But they only found a small crucible of oil with enough oil to last for one day. Even though they knew that after one day they won't have any more oil, because it would take about a week or so to prepare new consecrated oil, they decided they're going to kindle the menorah. But a great miracle happened. Instead of lasting for one day, this oil really took them over for the 8 days until new oil could be prepared. So this is why we light a menorah in our homes, because there was a miracle with the oil of the menorah. Of course, at the same time, there was a great military victory, because in order to kindle the menorah, you had to be able to go into the Beit HaMikdash. You had to expel the Syrians. You had to make sure that you were the ones that were ruling the land once again. Now I ask you, between the two events, which is more important? The military victory or the miracle of the oil? There's no question that the miracle victory, because there's no question that the military victory, because without this victory, no miracle of oil would have taken place. And one asks oneself, what is such a great miracle, the fact that the oil lasted for 8 days instead of 1? What if nothing would have happened? So for 7 days the menorah would not have been lit. After all, it hadn't been lit for a couple of years. Now it would be lit again and would stay lit after that week and new oil had been prepared. Yet our rabbis wanted to perpetuate the miracle of oil, because also they did not want to celebrate a military victory. They understood that in any kind of war, there are innocent people that die also. And we should not be remembered as a warring people. We should be remembered as a people who gave the notion of one God to this world, that you have to live an ethical life, that morals are important, virtues are important, and not the sword. More important is the word. How did God create the universe? By speaking, by saying, and God said, let there be light, to show maybe that the word is more important than anything else. Yet I find that in our history, we really don't commemorate events, miraculous events. If we are talking about a miracle that God performed with the Jewish people on Chanukah, I think a greater miracle was parting the waters of the Red Sea when our ancestors were fleeing from Egypt, and had the waters of the Red Sea not been parted, they would have died in the hands of the Egyptians. So which is more important? Obviously, the parting of the Red Sea. Yet, we don't commemorate it really. The 7th day of Pesach, we sing Az Yashir Moshe, remembering that, but that isn't the great miracle we commemorate. And there are many other things as well. Manna came down from heaven. We don't have any day to commemorate the manna that came down from heaven. Yet in the case of the menorah, we do. Well, one should think about it. Why do we do that? Maybe the manna, that ceased already. The parting of the Red Sea was a one-time event, but the light of the menorah is something else. And why did it kindle also the spirit of the Jewish people? Because it showed that we can be independent again. Even though there are oppressors, we can come out and give a call for liberty. So just like we did in those days, we're going to do it again. So therefore the Zionist movement liked that very much. But I like something else really better. Why was the menorah so important in the Beit HaMikdash? Because the Beit HaMikdash had windows that were narrow on the inside and were much wider on the outside, so that the light radiated from the temple outside, from the Beit HaMikdash outside. At night, what activities took place in the Beit HaMikdash? None. So why did you need the menorah lit? Well, you wanted the light to come forth from the Beit HaMikdash. Our rabbis felt there is no Beit HaMikdash, then our home has to be a Beit HaMikdash as well. They called it Beit HaMikdash Me'at, a small sanctuary. Our table is an altar. We use salt in our food because salt was used for the sacrifices. We wash before we eat because the Kohanim used to wash. We try to imitate it, try to bring the spirit of the Beit HaMikdash into our home. So we want that the light should radiate from our home. Even if there is no Beit HaMikdash, the menorah is lit so that the light comes out from the Jewish home. And what is light? Light is Torah. Light is understanding. Light is peace. So actually, not only did not our rabbis want to commemorate the war, they wanted to commemorate the notion of peace. Because in the priestly benediction, the Kohanim used to finish, Yevarechecha Hashem ve'yishmerecha, God should guard you. But the last word of the benediction was Shalom, peace. And that is the message that really we want to bring forth to the Jewish people and to the entire world. And tonight is the culmination of this celebration of Chanukah, but the light of the menorah should really accompany us during the other days of the year as well.